Hello everyone and welcome to a Code Realize video. Today we're going to be going through chapter 3 of Finis. For some reason I thought we were on chapter 4, but I didn't save at all, so when I went back I realized that we only did chapter 2. I'm a little bit further behind in Finis than I want to be, so I might try to release 2 of his this week so we can have the fan disc of this completed. Tomorrow I'm also going to release the endings for Ryuki, and I have the last 2 episodes of Kuroha recorded for Rip 9, and, well, I say the last 2, but the last 2 of his route, and I haven't recorded the endings yet. I just couldn't put it down this weekend, so I recorded a bunch of that. I put the one out on Saturday, and then I recorded 2 more after that. It's really good. I think Kuroha has been my favorite love interest in a very long time. Anyway, back to Code Realize, and meanwhile, at the French nobleman Count Saint Germain's mansion located in the forested area of London, inside an iron room of the mansion that had become a hideout of Lupin's crew. Van Helsing, Victor, Impey, and Dracula II organize the information that they've collected thus far.
アイザック・ベックフォードの最終目的、計画名、コードリアライズ。管理された戦争を永遠に続けることで、科学と人間の進化を目指す計画か。正気の沙汰とは思えんな。
うん。確かにアイザックの言葉通り、戦争には科学を発展させてきた側面もある。だけど同時に戦争はそれ以上の悲しみと憎しみを生み出す。それが永遠に続くなんて地獄だよ。
The documents spread across the table contain detailed information about the matters they've been investigating. Isaac's own revival, eternal life, administration of humanity, never-ending war. His ambitions are completely absurd. It all sounds like something out of a storybook, but no matter how impossible it seemed, not a single person in this room will laugh off his plan, because the man known as Isaac Beckford had enough power to turn his grandiose fantasies into reality.
で、この計画の鍵となるのが他ならぬカルディアという話だが、その当人からの通信はどうなっておるのだ？定期連絡の時間はとっくに過ぎているぞ。
それがさっきから確認してんだけど、通信機に一切応答がないんだよね。
It's been compromised.
彼女に限って忘れてるとは考えにくいね。となると、連絡を取るに取れない状況か。
あるいは、このポンコツ技師の通信機が予期せぬエラーを吐き出したかだな。
変だ、失礼なやつ。お前相手の時じゃあるまいし、そんなエラー云々は絶対にないっての。
とにかく心配のしすぎかもしれないけど、何かあったって考えた方がいいかもね。
Hearing Victor's voice reminds me of one of the Rip 9 characters, who is also voiced by Keith Clay's. I forget Victor's and Keith's voice actor, but unfortunately, he's like 4th or 5th in the playthrough, so it's going to be a while before you get to him, but I can't wait to see if he sounds like Victor or Keith, or if he's got his own voice in this game.
いつでも動けるよう各自で準備しつつ、ルパンと伯爵の帰りを待とう。
つってもルパンはともかく、サンちゃんはいろいろ野暮用があるとかで最近ずっと留守なんだよね。
Has he been home? They talked for a while, and just as they were rising from their seats, one of the subjects of discussion peeks his head in from the door.
おい、お前ら全員揃ってるか？聞きたくねえだろうが、悪い知らせだ。
おお、ルパン、ちょうどいいところに。
伯爵以外は揃っているが、何があった？ついに黄昏が動きを見せたか？
ある意味そうだな。 無理やりせっつかれて動き出したっつう方が正しいだろうけどよ。
Unusual for Lupin, he's evasive with his words as he adjusts his hat. Then his hat tilted down so that it covers his eyes, he tells everyone in a grave tone.
全員、今すぐ支度しろ。黄昏の本部、セントポール大聖堂が何者かによる襲撃を受けてやがる。
My idea. Oh no. That's the only people who would attack them. St. Paul's Cathedral, one of London's largest religious structures with a gigantic dome that rises to the heavens. Its entrance forbidden due to the accident during the reconstruction of London, the public is only allowed to see its exterior. But in this situation, that's the last of their concerns. About an hour passes after Lupin's report. His crew had broken into the cathedral, ignoring the do not enter warnings. What welcomed them was a sea of blood, the corpses of Twilight soldiers fallen as if they'd been stacked on top of each other.
なんだこの惨状は。
I think this is the first time this music has played. I like it.
どれもこれも人たちで終わらせているようだ。襲撃者は相当な手だれのようだな。
It's either Twilight or it's Saint Germain ordered to kill everyone.
どうやらその手だれとやらがお出ましのようだぜ。
I think I said Twilight, but it's either random apostles of idea or it's actually Saint Germain. With one blow, a skilled person, like, it has to be him, right? Unless it's Hansel. Oh, I hear Guinevere.
おいおいおいおい、なんなのよあれ。出てくる時代間違っちゃってない？
The clanks of heavy armor resound as the figure approaches from deep inside the cathedral. She is the idea's apostle known as Guinevere, though they have no way of knowing this. With armor reminiscent of a knight's form in the Middle Ages, she stops before them and thrusts her colossal sword into the floor.
泥棒紳士アルセーヌ・ルパンとその一味。この先に何の用？
泥棒の用事って言ったら一つしかねえだろ。
He's gonna steal the princess.
この大聖堂の奥に俺たち一味の大事な宝がいるんでね。そいつを盗み返しに来ただけさ。
あなたは見たところ黄昏の一員じゃなさそうだ。だったらそこを通してほしい。
コードリアライズの鍵となるアイザックの呪われた兄弟カルディアとフィーニス。あなたたちの目的がそれならばここを通すわけにはいかない。
I love all of Lupin's lines. I think after this fan disc, I am going to record the third fan disc, but not like put it out right away because I don't know how fast I'm going to record it. So once I have like, I don't know, like all the love triangles recorded or whatever, then I'll put those out like 2 a week or something like that. I say love triangles, but it's like Cardia out with 2 of the guys doing something or at home sick, which is the first one I have recorded. And they're just like vying for her attention. That's what they call a love triangle in that one. But I have Impy and Van Helsing recorded, and that's what they do. They're just fighting for her attention, I guess. Who's going to cook for her and stuff like that because she's sick. And then there's a Christmas story for each of them too. Actually, since Christmas is coming up, this is the perfect time to record it, right? So yeah, that's probably what I want to do, like on the side, like on the weekends and stuff, is record some of that, and then probably start posting them whenever I have a few of them stored up.
なぜならその二人はここで抹殺されるのだから。
ああ、そうかよ。一体何者かも知らねえが、その言葉を口にした時点でてめえは間違いなく俺たちの敵だ。
I know, Lupin's not gonna have it. Van Helsing's gun emits a loud blast. The second Lupin's cape cuts off the enemy's line of sight. See, I thought Hansel was just showing up at the end of this, but like all of Idea, I guess, is. Or maybe it's just her, I don't know. Hit directly by the rock salt shot, the knight recoils slightly. Without so much as a hint of concern, she slashes at the surroundings with her colossal sword.
剣で柱を叩き切っただと。
悪いことは言わない。引きなさい。
I know you're not gonna win against them.
あなたたちもアイザックの計画を止めたいと思っているんでしょ。だったら目的は同じはず。
どこで聞いたか知らねえが、こっちの目的も承知の上か。確かに俺の目的は黄昏のテロ計画の阻止、つまりはアイザックを止めることだ。
ならば
ただしあいつを犠牲にしねえ。俺たちのやり方でだ。そこに文句があるならかかってきやがれ。
Meanwhile, back at Cardia's point of view, the graceful cathedral, a sacred place of tranquility, rocks violently with every resounding rumble. Apparently it's under attack, but I can only wonder what's happening to the place that is St. Paul's Cathedral. I desperately try to walk, my hands guiding myself along the walls. No, I was like, try to walk, but I forgot she's been awakened in the last one.
ずいぶんと辛そうだね、姉さん。まあ、無理もないだろうけど。何しろ姉さんの体は生きながらにして少しずつ作り変えられているんだからね。
It's just as Finis says. Even now, the searing heat flows through me, the tormenting pain threatening to tear my whole body asunder. But compared to the start, even this agony feels like it's beginning to settle. I can still manage to suppress it. Then, as I catch my breath, Finis, who walks beside me, suddenly looks up at the ceiling and opens his mouth.
どうも僕の一部が襲撃者と遭遇し始めたみたいだね。僕にも情報が流れてきたよ。
Who could possibly be attacking Lupin and the others, the yard, the government?
そんなのよりもっと厄介な連中さ。いずれ来るとは思っていたけど、ここで僕たちを潰しに来るとはね。
Finis's words and steps halt. Finis, is something wrong?
何者かな？出てきなよ。
お久しぶりですね、カルディアさん。
There he is. What? Saint Germain?
お元気そうで何よりです。とは言い切れない状況ですが。
He said that in a couple of other routes too. Unfortunately, he has come to destroy you. Saint Germain slowly approaches us. I heave a sigh of relief seeing his appearance I've so dearly missed, and my heart feels at ease. Saint Germain, why are you here? Did you come to rescue me?
いいえ、
Just one word.
助けに来たのではなく、救いにやってきたのですよ。
Saint Germain wears his usual faint smile, even in the midst of the raid on Twilight headquarters. A smile no different from when he's relaxing, enjoying a cup of tea at the mansion. That fact alone was terrifying, and I made a step back as if to retreat.
姉さん、どいて。
The bullet that invites death narrowly misses my arm and strikes Saint Germain's chest. Watching him fall, accompanied by the fountain of blood, I let out a scream that I can't contain. Saint Germain! Finis, you!
姉さんは黙ってなよ。動くな、イデアの使徒。
I know, a bullet's not gonna hurt him.
やれやれ。そういう警告は普通発砲する前に言うものでは。
警告が効く相手ならそうしたかもね。
今のは先日研究所で僕を殺してくれたお礼だよ。ただの挨拶代わりさ。
なるほど。不死身という話はどうやら本当のようですね。
よく言うよ。お前だってそうだろ。
Saint-Germain, shot only moments ago, stands back up as if nothing had happened. Idea's apostle. Saint-Germain had called himself those words before, the enemy of father that should be feared, spoken of by Finis time and again. Saint-Germain, who are you?
本当はこんな日が来ないことを祈っていたのですが、やはり運命とはままならぬものらしい。私はサンジェルマン、歴史を導く者、イデアの使徒が一人。歴史を歪ませるアイザックの計画を止め、あなたたちの呪われた命に救済をもたらすため、やってきました。
The silver blade that stretched out from his arm reflected the light, emitting a violent glare. The young man with whom I spent my days was now directing a bloodlust towards me.
あいにく僕はともかく姉さんを殺させるわけにいかないんだよ。計画上替えの利かないパーツだからね。お前の相手は僕たちだよ。
The Finis clones appear one after another. Eyeing the army of clones I could easily number in the dozen, Saint-Germain narrows his eyes and prepares his blade once more.
なるほど。オムニブスの言う通り、これは実に冒涜的な光景だ。あるいは時の鎖で縛られた我々よりずっと哀れな存在とも言えますね。
姉さん、見ての通り、こいつは敵だ。僕たちが食い止めているうちにさっさと逃げろ！
As Finis shouts, We are going to stay right here. The one who was previously my friend, who had become an enemy after my life. My little brother, clearly my enemy, who is now defending me with his life. I'm not sure if I can consider either one of them friend or foe. As I stand in place, filled with hesitation, Saint-Germain makes a swift slash with his deadly blade. Pierced by the blade of the merciless apostle Finis, whom I had been beside all this time, turns into a lifeless corpse. He becomes a literal meat shield, blood spilling from his mouth and his eyes open wide. That's so gross sounding. But
見捨てて逃げるなんてできない。なんてバカなこと考えてないよね、姉さん。
don't be stupid and run.
そんな人間みたいな考えはいらないんだよ。僕たちは人形だ。肉の盾だ。ただの部品だ。
We're more than that. Even if we were created, you're still my...
黙れ！弟だって思うならさっさと逃げろ！姉さんがグズグズしてれば、それだけ僕が死ぬことになるんだよ！
That should get her out of there, right? The longer you stand, the more Finis's die. My back is shoved by another Finis, and I begin to run as I drag myself along. The Finises that are trying to protect me will be locked in place unless I retreat. This is my best and only option, though the pain in my chest doesn't cease. Is this right? I repeatedly ask myself the question with no answers as I leave the scene. You just need to meet up with Lupin and everything will be fine. My body feels hot, my sight wavers, my whole body alerts me of this pain. My transformation into the Philosopher's Stone seems to have slowed, but even so I can't ignore the heaviness of my body. It feels as though the poison is seeping out even with my gloves on. I desperately continue to run down the hallway of the great cathedral that shakes with each assault. I wonder how long I've been running. I somehow make my way into the deepest part of the cathedral and raise my voice when I see Finis staring up at the sphere. Finis, Idea's apostles are at the great cathedral. Why do you think he doesn't know that?
そんなに騒がなくても分かってる。記憶を共有してるって言ったじゃないか。とはいえ奴らの戦闘力はこちらの想像を大きく超えていた。今予備の僕たちを起こしているけど、かなり厳しい状況には違いないね。
What are you going to do then? Isn't the enemy immortal? You can't exactly pick up this main body and run away. Ignoring my question, Finis's lip twist.
手はすでに打ってるさ。今アレスターとネモが切り札を動かしに行ってる。
The Nautilus, probably.
もっとも多少時間が必要になるから、その間は兵と僕たちで足止めするしかないね。
You're using yourself as shields again. The scene from earlier comes back to me. The Finises that were cut down one by one in order to protect me and hold off Saint Germain. Even if they were a created existence, it should be an indisputable fact that every one of them had a life. That's not right.
本当にバカだね、姉さんは。だったらどうしろって言うのさ。僕の代わりは無数にいる。だけどホロロギウムを持つ姉さんは一人しかいない。だったら僕が盾になって姉さんを守るのは当然だろう。
But if one didn't know any better, he almost sounded like a little brother who genuinely cared about his big sister. When in fact...
姉を守るために自分を犠牲にか。
There he is.
まるで人間みたいなことを言うんだね。そんなことをしたところで誰も救われたりしないのに。
The sounds of footsteps resound along with a quiet voice. A boy whom I've never seen before enters the room. Who are you? Without seeming to so much as regard me who stands there confused, he sways as he approaches. Then he jumps lightly. Oh my goodness, what is he doing? Closing the distance between us in an instant, he scoops my hair into his hand and brings it close to his nose.
君からは匂いがするね。
He's kind of cute. Why isn't he a love interest? What? Aroma?
そう。甘い甘いお菓子の匂い。魔女が作る悲劇の匂いだ。
離れろ姉さん。そいつはイデアの使徒だ。
He knows all of them, doesn't he? As the mini Finis's gunshots ring out, the two of us are sent flying as if to repel off of one another. Finis, who rushes to my side, glares at him bitterly.
さっきのやつとは別の使徒か。イデアも随分と本気で殺しに来るね。
Idea, then you're the same as Saint Germain.
そう。僕はイデアの使徒ヘンゼル・ヘクセンハウス。はじめまして。アイザックの子供たち。君たちの境遇には同情するけど、アイザック・ベックフォードの計画は多くのかわいそうな子供たちを産む。だから君たちは今ここで僕たちが食らう。行くよグレーテル。
He caresses the fork, and an instant later, the boy who calls himself Hansel darts at us. The fork dances through the air as if drifting, gouging Finis beneath his arm and causing him to fall to his knees. Finis, why you? Dodging my kick that was meant to shake him off, Hansel leaps backwards. Finis, are you alright?
いちいち心配するなって言っただろ。こんな血液だってただの作り物だ。
It's never going to get through to her though.
僕は生体人形だ。ただただ精巧な人間の偽物。替えの利く便利な人形なんだよ。
He pushes me away and falls to his knees, and another Finis tugs my arm vigorously.
とにかく姉さんは逃げろ。僕が1秒でも長く足止めよう。
Be quiet. That's funny. Shut up. If you insist on being my brother, then listen to your older sister occasionally. When you have no other choice but to fight someone stronger than you, always look for an opening to make your escape. Remembering Van Helsing's lesson, I take a stance and prepare myself, but... He's at a date. Other than pursue us, Hansel simply stands there and looks at us with sorrowful eyes.
愚かな親に踊らされる子供たち。本当に哀れだね。君たちは。
愚かだと。お前に何がわかるって言うんだ。
I know, don't insult his father.
わかるよ。よくわかる。アイザック・ベックフォードは強靭だ。もういない家族を求めてもがいた挙句、世界を最悪に巻き込む狂った亡者。君たちもあんな愚かな親から生まれなければ、もっと別の人生を歩んでいただろうに。本当にかわいそうだ。
黙れ！
As Finis yells, the other Finises who had assembled fire their guns. Dodging the barrage of bullets, Hansel swings his huge fork.
せめてその呪われた命に救済を。さあ行こう、グレーテル。
One, two, three, four. Effortlessly, as if to slice through cake. One by one, his fork pierces through the Finis' bodies that get in the way. The Finis that suffer, struggle, and soon stop moving with every brutal stab. Finis, stop. I can't.
うるさい！これでいいんだよ！どのみち不死身の人は殺せない！だったら少しでも時間を稼いで！
And then, as if in response to Finis' words, I bite my lip. What?
これは。
The great cathedral begins to shake, along with the sound of a tremendous explosion. Unable to brace myself for the resulting violent quake, I fall to my knees.
間に合った！
The stained glass shatters, the walls begin to crumble, and the ceiling begins to fall. With every echoing explosion, the historic cathedral crumbles even further. What's happening? But curiously, within the collapsing cathedral, only this room survives the falling rubble. Oh yeah, I believe, like, I think this room is inside the Nautilus, I think, right? Because I think it was in Lupin's too, because that main body was in the sky, and they fell out of it.
さあ姉さん、見なよ！ようやくのご到着だ！
As the collapsing of the great cathedral finally dies down, Finis points up. The ceiling had completely fallen apart, and we're now able to see the blue of the sky above.
Ah! Ah!
A voice like a distant thunder rolling through the sky suddenly resounds across all of London.
本日は晴天なり本日は晴天なり晴天ところにより一時戦艦日和次期目標地点上空に到達お迎えに上がりましたよアイザック先生
Is that Nemo? A voice fell from high above. I looked to the distant sky in a daze, and I seemed to catch a dull glimmer.
さあ、うぞうむぞうどもめ地上に縫い止められたままこの姿にひれ伏すがいい今こそ見せよう私の全霊を注ぎ込んだ最高傑作偉大なる科学の力の結晶
Could someone stop his monologuing already?
No! Cheers!
Oh my goodness. Okay, maybe the main body is not in the airship this time. They probably picked them up though. Along with a shout from the bottom of his lungs, a shadow falls on us. It's like a steel cloud that blocks out the sun. A colossal slab of iron that one could mistake as an island completely obscures the sky. What is that?
ほら見なよ姉さんあれこそが父様の座る鋼鉄の玉座神の箱舟戦艦ノーチラスだ
Battleship? You're saying that's a ship? That's impossible. Nippy's told me plenty about the constructions and technology of airships. Even with a light material such as aerocarbonium, there would still be a limit to the hull weight. Something that colossal.
恐ろしいねアイザック・ベックフォードはあんなものまで作り上げるなんてやっぱり彼は危険すぎるなら僕たちにできることはただ一つ今ここで計画の鍵になる君たちを抹殺すること
I can see Hansel fiercely running towards us as I glance back, but
遅いんだよでも今だやれ
Oh, my brother! 私に任せておきたまえ座標固定目標補足重力緩和装置起動
along with Nemo's booming voice, my legs begin to float away from the ground. That's leaving too. What? No, not just me. Even the Finises around me and the gigantic armillary sphere. As if the heavens and the earth have traded places. We fall towards the Nautilus.
残念だったねイデアさすがのお前たちも空は飛べないだろう
The ground gradually draws further away from the world where everyone was upside down. Hansel and his astonished expression. The discarded corpses of the countless Finises left behind below. The colossal battleship Nautilus had suddenly appeared above the skies of London. The city's residents look up at the sky, dumbfounded by the majestic presence that transcends the common knowledge of science. During the battle to the death with Guinevere, Lupin and the others too were staring up at the iron castle in the sky.
なんだあのデカブツは 飛行船なのか？
そんな、あれだけの質量が宙に浮くなんてありえないよ。
Looking on at the scene that could best be described as a giant lid closing on the sky, they stand there awestruck. All but one, that is.
間違いない。
Only Impy continued to stare at the Nautilus, his fist trembling and biting his lip.
あいつが空に浮いてるのは多分とある装置のおかげだ。俺とじいさんが月に行くために必死に開発した夢の結晶、重力緩和装置。
The Nautilus slowly begins to deploy its turrets as Impy looks on as if to mock him.
やめろよ
それでは我が技術の結晶の姿、とくと目に焼き付けるがいい。
やめろネモ、そいつはそんなことのために作ったんじゃない。
全訪問。
発射
Oh my goodness. I can't wait for him to be gone. Drowning out Impy's cries, the barrage of Nautilus gunfire roars through the skies.
うおー、まずい、物陰に隠れろ。
Lower Town, Midtown, the Upper Town, and Buckingham Palace alike. Whether rich or poor, aristocratic or working class, the steel shells pulverized them equally. A state of panic and chaos fell over the heart of London. How many of them even noticed the pillar of light that connected the great cathedral and the Nautilus? That beam in the gravity alleviator that Nemo activated. Locating the target of their search in the midst of the gravel and debris, Lupin mutters, overcome with surprise.
あれはカルディア。
Yep, she's floating up. Goodbye. The sky is now the ground, and the ground is now the sky. Within this world that had flipped over completely, Finis and I fall away into the sky. Finally, we're pulled inside the gigantic battleship. A heavy sound reverberates through my body as the ship's hatch closes. Finis now on the floor of the Nautilus lets out a deep sigh.
あれがイデアの使徒。くそ、噂通り不死身の化け物め。だけど本体も姉さんも確保できた。結局はこっちの勝ちだ。
Victory? My chest tightens as I recall the sight that was burned into my eyes earlier. Those countless Finises that fell to the floor, skewered by Hansel's work. The many corpses that were left behind below. It reminded me of the 665 corpses of me. Something so sad, so bereft of happiness. It's nothing close to victory. Not when all those Finises died.
正しくは壊れただよ姉さん。僕たちは生きているわけじゃない。
No. I force out the words little by little as I gaze at the struggling Finis, shrugging. It's true that our births were unnatural. Perhaps we were given form, seemed in culture fluid, given our memories. But we still have feelings. We laugh, we hurt, we suffer, and we love others. We love our family. How is that different from humans? And we're alive just the same.
人間？
You're gonna make him go insane.
誰からも愛されない僕たちが人間と一緒だって？
Finis's face twists in disgust. It's like he's a raging beast whose wound was touched.
そんなことあるわけがない。僕たちは父様の計画を完成させて初めて愛を得るんだ。
Ah. Finis grabs me by the collar as if to strangle me. Anger, sorrow, and hatred. He makes it an intensely pained expression filled with all those emotions.
僕たちは人間じゃない。僕たちは怪物なんだ。そんな僕たちに愛をくれるのは世界でたった一人父様しか。
Why? Why do you think Father is the only one who can love you? Please listen, Finis. There's no telling whether or not the love from Father is real. Right now, there's no way to know. But putting all that aside, there are people who can love you. Not that I can say for sure what I know what love is like myself. But even so, at the very least, I, as a big sister to my little brother, would like to love you. That's what I feel from the bottom of my heart. I gently hug Finis. It's so sad. My little brother who only sees himself as an object. A poisonous body bereft of love, unable to feel another's warmth, even in this situation. Even so, I wish for my emotions to be passed to him. I hold him tightly so that I won't be pushed away like before.
無駄だよ、姉さん。どんなに言葉で取り繕おうが、僕たちは所詮人形だ。こんな行為に意味なんて。
Be quiet. Aw, look at his little puppy eyes. It's so adorable. He's finally got some emotion in his eyes. We're a created existence. It's true that the others might call us dolls. There's no way around that. But please stop treating yourself like a doll. Oh, he's gonna cry now.
なら、姉さんは僕にどうしろって言うんだ。僕には何もないのに。何もないから父様の愛が欲しいのに。
You have Cardia. Uh-oh. It's as though it's trying to silence me. The horologium suddenly begins to shine and the pulsing resounds throughout our surroundings, stronger than ever before. I fall and begin to convulse, unable to so much as stand. His voice shakes and his expression twists in distress. But Finis bites his lip, shakes his head, and forces out a dry laugh.
怒ってるんだね、父様。僕たちがバカなことを言うから。もう諦めなよ、姉さん。抵抗しても苦しむだけだ。
No.
もう苦しむ必要なんてないんだ。そのまま諦めて父様に。
No. I want to love you, my little brother.
なんだよ。なんなんだよ、姉さんは。そうやってただの部品に余計な感情を寄せてさ。僕は人形だって言ってるだろ。あんただってそうだ。誰かを愛するなんてそんな感情。僕たちは父様にだけ愛されればそれでいいじゃないか。父様のために生きて父様のために死ねばいい。他の誰かを思うなんてそんなこと馬鹿げてるよ。
Finis. That moment, a vibration runs through us along with the deafening rumble. What? A hole suddenly opened in the floor not far from where we are. There stands a single figure. His clothes flutter as the wind blew wildly.
やっと追いついた。
He can't fly, oh my goodness. Hansel stood there quietly. Sticking the fork that is roughly his height into the floor, he stares at us with a calm gaze. Hansel? How? We just...
別に大したことじゃない。浮き上げられた瓦礫を飛び渡って外壁に取り付いてきただけ。あとは君たちの匂いを追ってきただけだよ。
くっそ、化け物が今度こそ叩き落としてやる。
Finis raises his arm and the main body pulsates, steel wires beginning to crawl out from inside. Terrifying steel tendrils raise their necks and immediately rush towards Hansel's neck.
消えろ、イデアの使徒！父様に近づくんじゃない！
なるほど。わざわざそんな大きなものを回収するなんて不思議に思ってたけど。
You probably shouldn't have told him that. It's easy to target an inanimate object.
それがアイザックの本体なんだね。
And he makes an arching slash at the steel wires and kicks off, beginning his run. He darts past the astonished Finises and goes straight towards the Amalari sphere. You shouldn't have said anything. He's far faster than Finis, who looks on with a stiff face, and myself, who remains collapsed on the floor.
これで終わりだね。
Hansel swings his fork up, and then... violent noise echoes from the sphere. Uh-oh. Numerous steel wires coil around Finis, who suddenly stops moving, and... tug at him.
え？
Directly in front of the fork that Hansel just threw. Oh my goodness. He literally just picked him up and used him to shield himself. That's messed up. This is the father who says loves you. Finis.
何よ。
Hansel, whose eyes were wide from the unexpected situation, is bound by the rest of the tentacles. What in the world just happened? Unable to comprehend for a moment, I blink my eyes as I remain collapsed. What happened? Was that... Did father use Finis? Then Finis was thrown to the floor as if he was no longer of any use. Finis! Even from my perspective, a fair distance away, the dire scene is distinctly evident. Blood constantly flows from his abdomen that was pierced by the fork. I have to stop the bleeding immediately. Silencing the horologium that throbs painfully by clutching it as if to crush it in my hand, I feebly stand. Right there, Finis. I'll stop the bleeding. With an injury that serious, it wouldn't be surprising if he died this instant. Finis speaks his words weakly. still going on about that. I desperately move over to him and pull his body to mine. The fresh blood that continually flows is so vivid and warm. It's as if his very life is pouring out.
でも不思議だよ。どうしてか姉さん手の震えが止まらない。
Upon those words, Finis's movement suddenly stopped unnaturally. Finis, come on, Finis. This can't. There's no response to my desperate calls. Again, right in front of my very eyes, my little brother dies again. I close my eyes, overwhelmed with despair. But
少し待ちなさい、愛しい娘よ。まずは邪魔者を始末する必要がある。
words come from Finis that aren't from Finis. It was this conflicting existence that pulled me back from the impeding darkness. Father, it's you. As if the injury that he had dealt didn't exist at all. Finis calmly got up even as blood trickled down.
ああ、そうか。それが君自身の精神か。ようやく出てきたね。アイザック・ベックフォード。自分の子供たちを生贄に捧げて、自らが神になろうと思い上がった狂気の科学者。僕たちイデアは君を認めない。この拘束が解けた瞬間が君の最後だよ。
確かに今の私では不死身の使徒を殺しきることはできん。その拘束とて完璧ではない。束の間の時間稼ぎといったところだ。だが残念だな。対処する手段などいくらでもある。
Father, who now controls Finis's body, grabs Hansel and begins to walk
まさか。
towards the gaping hole in the floor. I'm just gonna throw him out.
ちょうどいい。傷ついた人形、芽生えた子。この器ももう不要だな。
That's really sad. Poor Finis. He just started thinking of himself as something other than a doll, and Isaac's just like, well, goodbye. A bad feeling crawls over me. I stumble over, practically dragging myself along, falling and standing back up several times. Father, wait, what are you thinking? I smile.
僕ごと飛び降りる気か。
Stop this, Father. It's obvious what would happen as a result of falling from this height. On top of that, Finis is already gravely injured from intercepting Hansel's attack. It's amazing that he can still move at all. Or maybe Father is simply foreseeing his movements and he's already... The horrible thought causes me to let out a heartrending shout that surprises even myself. Please listen, Father. As I try to draw closer, the pain from the horologium modification process makes my feet feel like lead. The short distance between us feels like a mile. I reach out to my little brother who just continues to smile faintly. but still my hand doesn't reach him.
なぜ悲しむ？なぜ止める？どんな子供でも壊れてしまった人形は捨てるものだろう。
It's not a doll though, it's her brother.
それとも人形は人形なりに情でも映ったか？
No, neither of us are dolls. So please, Father, you can't.
いいだろう。愛しいお前が罪悪感を覚えるというのなら。
The Finis before me lets out a sigh, and then, with a joyous, heartfelt expression, he slowly begins speaking to me.
姉さん、来ないで。
It was an incredibly strained voice, as if meant to satisfy his own emotions.
僕は父様の役に立てることが何よりも嬉しい。最高の気分だよ。だから罪悪感なんて覚えなくていい。姉さんが悲しむ必要なんてないんだ。姉さんはただ黙ってそこで見ていればいい。
This doesn't sound like Finis's words at all. It sounds too sweet.
僕が役目を果たすその瞬間をね。
Finis sways, his body begins to tilt. No, no, stop. Stop, Finis! Don't kill my little brother! I lunge forward with the last ounce of strength that I have, but...
それじゃあね、姉さん。大切な、大切な。
My fingertips don't even graze him.
姉さん!
Finis! Finis! Faster than my hand, faster than my voice. Pulling Hansel down with him, Finis begins his descent. Only my cry followed his vanishing figure. I couldn't grab him. I couldn't save him. Even if it wasn't with his words, there's no doubt in my mind. He was crying out for help. A fragrance of his true feelings that he'd been hiding away this entire time, and it was directed at me. Told him that I would love him.
Hmm? 姉さん、どうして泣いてるの?
There's another one. Oh my goodness. What? Finis.
そうだよ、僕だ。他の誰に見えるっていうのさ。さて、後始末もしないとね。この床はネモにでも修理させようか。
Then Finis laughed. The same smile, the same voice, the same Finis that just plummeted below. If I didn't know any better, it might feel like I'm seeing an illusion of the one who just fell to his doom. However, no. The Finis before me isn't the same as the one only moments ago. Even if I look away and convince myself that he's standing right there, it doesn't change the fact that the Finis who fell is gone forever.
ねえ、何が悲しいの? 何度も言ったけど、僕がたかだか一人失われた程度じゃ何も変わらないよ。僕たちは全てが僕なんだから。
That's not true. You, the Finis who fell, each of you are different.
同じだよ。言ったじゃない。僕たちは記憶を共有してるんだ。例えば、そうだな。ああ、アレスターとネモのティータイム。姉さんは楽しかった？私のように正直に生きたまえ。お前は自分に正直なだけだろ。ほら姉さん、僕は僕でしょ。
His smile made my entire body shudder. I finished who wasn't there, recalling precise details of the event in the exact same voice. It's like science itself has cast a spell on him, an affront to life. But, in contrast to my fear, I have another thought. Perhaps Father felt the same way as how I'm feeling right now. He has the same face, the same appearance as his own son, but regardless, he's a doll that will never become the original person. Recreating him endlessly, yearning for the real one. These Finises that can never become Finis. Why then was he ever given a heart in the first place? They who were raised as Finis, who can only ever live as Finis. That was nothing less than a tragedy beyond words. Steel London, the capital of the United Kingdom that provides itself as an impenetrable defense created by the genius scientist Isaac. How ironic that it was Isaac's apprentice who broke through that defense, or perhaps it was inevitable. At Tower Bridge, London's largest bridge. Squinting up at the colossal battleship that began to move through the sky, Omnibus listened to the report.
それで、ビクトリア女王は
健在です。オムニブスの指示通り、密かに首都を護衛につけておきましたから。他にも、町の各地に散らせた人たちのおかげで、被害はある程度食い止めてあります。もっとも、ギネビアやサン、ヘンゼルは、肝心の主犯を始末し損ねたそうですが。
仕方ないわ。あの3人で厳しければ、他の人が行ったところで同じ結果に終わったでしょう。今回はこちらの負けね。だけど、このまま放っておくわけにはいかない。あとはビクトリア女王と話して今後の動きを決めるとしましょう。
Omnibus gives a slight nod and stares at the Nautilus once more.
一人が地上へ落ちたよね。もっとも一人という言い方はおかしいのかもしれないけど。
ただいま、お母さん。
おかえりなさい、ヘンゼル。双子は始末できなかったのね。
うん、ごめんなさい。
Perhaps the one who had fallen from that extreme altitude hadn't yet fully regenerated. Hansel grimaces as he sits down. He blankly looks up at the sky towards the Nautilus.
何か思うことがありそうね。
カルディアとフィニスだっけ。とてもかわいそうな子たちだった。運命に翻弄される哀れな双子。まるであれは
あなたとグレーテルのよう。
はあ、
やっぱり今回の任務はあなたにはつらいものだったかしら。今からでも別の人に。
次も僕たちに行かせてほしい。サンとギネビアにも伝えて。あの子たちは僕がやる。あの子たちはたとえ作り物でも偽物でも兄弟だから。僕がやらなきゃいけないと思う。
そうわかったわ。あなたの意志を尊重しましょう。
Hansel lets out a shallow sigh and gently caresses the fork on his side.
かわいそうな子たち。でも 見逃すわけにはいかないんだ。僕やグレーテルのような悲しい子をこれ以上産まないためにも。それはずっとずっと昔の話。
At least it's voice acted. This episode is going a little longer than I was expecting.
僕がまだイデアの使徒になる前、幼い少年だった頃の古い古いおとぎ話。僕の住んでいた国、もう名前も思い出せないけど、その年は記録的な大飢饉だった。雨は降らず草木は枯れ、わずかに生き残った作物さえも病と虫に食い荒らされて、その上幾度も起きた戦争のせいで民の手に届くのはほんの一握りの小麦だけ。それは当然僕の村も例外じゃなく、木こりで生計を立てていた父と村一番のお菓子作りの名人だった母、それに僕とグレーテルの兄弟、一家4人で一かけらのパンとスープを分け合う日が何日続いただろうか。そんなある日のこと、最後に残った小麦で久々にクッキーを焼きながらお母さんは僕たちに微笑んだ。
ヘンゼル、グレーテル、お菓子を持ってピクニックに行きましょう。
ピクニック？
そうよ。村外れの丘の先にある森までね。
でもあの森には悪い魔女が住んでるから、大人はみんな行っちゃダメだって。
大丈夫よ。お母さんがついてるから。それにね、本当かわからないけど、魔女の家はお菓子でできてるんだって。
お菓子の家？
そう。柱はパンで、窓はお砂糖。テーブルはチョコで、ソファーはマシュマロ。もし見つけられたら何でも食べ放題だそうよ。
行きたい！お菓子の家！お菓子の家見つけたらチョコは全部私のだから。お兄ちゃんはビスケットね。
それずるくない？
大丈夫よ。きっと一人じゃ食べきれないわ。
じゃあお父さんにも持って帰って食べさせてあげる。
お母さんが作ったクッキーをポケットに、僕たち3人が向かったのは深い深い森の中。村の人が霧の森と呼ぶ薄暗い森の中。 先を歩くお母さんの後を追いかけるように、僕とグレーテルは歩いていく。それからどのぐらい歩いただろう。少し疲れたから休憩しようとお母さんが立ち止まったのは日が傾き始めた頃のことだった。
さあ、ここで休憩しておやつにしましょうか。お母さんは薪を拾ってくるから、二人ともいい子にして待っているのよ。
え？
お母さん、急いでね。私、早くお菓子の家見つけたい。ええ、すぐ戻るわ。ヘンゼルはお兄ちゃんなんだから、グレーテルの面倒を見てやってね。
あの時のお母さんの苦しげな顔は今でもよく覚えている。今思えば僕はもうこの時ある程度察していたのかもしれない。
お兄ちゃん、お母さん遅いね。
うん。
お兄ちゃん。
不安のにじんだグレーテルの声が僕の胸を締め付ける。
Is she abandoning them? Because that's a messed up mother.
何時間経っても戻ってこないお母さん。周囲はもう日も落ちて夜。でも僕は努めて明るく微笑んでグレーテルに笑いかけた。ひょっとしてお母さん、もうお菓子の家見つけちゃったのかも。それで独り占めしちゃってるとか。
ずるい。
じゃなかったらほら道に迷っちゃったのかも。ちょっと探してみようか。僕たちは身を寄せ合い夜の森を歩き出す。何の目印もないうっそうとした森の中、小さな妹の手のぬくもりだけを頼りにして。
お兄ちゃん、私お腹空いてきた。
それじゃあお母さんの作ってくれたクッキーを食べよう。でもちょっとずつだよ。お菓子の家に着いた時お腹いっぱいじゃお菓子が食べれないから。僕は微笑みを浮かべ続けた。グレーテルに話しかけ続けた。守らなきゃと思った。ぎゅっと不安げに握りしめられたこの小さな手を、大事な妹を。でも現実は残酷だ。幼いなりに察したんだと思う。グレーテルの口数は徐々に減り、歩みもゆっくりと鈍っていく。やがて足取りもふらふらとおぼつかなくなり、 何度も何度も転び始めて、それでも泣いたりしなかったのはきっと僕を心配させないため。一人で歩けなくなったグレーテルの手を引き、僕は歯を食いしばって歩き続ける。それからどれだけ歩いたのか、言葉もなくうつむいていた妹はやがてぽつりと僕に告げた。
お兄ちゃん、お母さんがくれた最後のお菓子、グレーテルの分も食べて。
それが妹の最後の言葉。どんどんと冷たくなる妹の体を背負って、僕は泣きながら歩き続けた。
I knew his story was sad, but I didn't think it was this sad.
悔しかった。妹を守ってあげられなかった自分が。憎かった。僕とグレーテルを捨てたお母さんが。でもそれ以上に悲しかった。子供を捨てなければ生きていけない、そんな世界が。グレーテルのぬくもりが消えるにつれて、僕の歩みは鈍くなっていった。どんなに歩いたって意味はない。行く場所も戻る場所もない。お母さんのついた最後の嘘。お菓子の家が見つかったとしても、グレーテルがいないんじゃ。そして僕の歩みが完全に止まったその時、突然視界が開けて、夜のはずなのに穏やかな光が降り注いだ。お菓子の家？
かわいそうに。たとえ事情があろうとも、親が子を殺す、子が親を殺す、兄が弟を殺す。家族を殺めてしまう悲しさはいつの時代でも変わらないわね。
あなたは森の魔女？
魔女。そうね。その呼び方はとてもしっくりくるわ。私の名はオムニブス。この霧の森の奥地に住まう魔女。幸か不幸か、あなたは選ばれてしまった。不老不死の呪いを受け入れる資質を持つイデアの一員に。
幼い僕がその言葉を本当の意味で理解できたとは言えない。僕が理解できたのは、彼女が続けて紡いだ言葉だけ。
もしあなたが永遠に人々を正しき歴史に導く使命を負うというのなら、 あなたの願いを一つだけ叶えましょう。
願い？
豪華なお屋敷でも食べきれないほどのお菓子でも私が叶えられるものならね。
僕はぼんやりとつぶやく。願わくば。お母さんとクレーテルに会いたい。お母さんとクレーテルと一緒にずっとずっと過ごしたい。
そう、それがあなたの願いなのね。けれどいくら私でも失われた人の命をよみがえらせることはかなわない。だからせめてあなたの願いを半分だけ叶えてあげましょう。
オムニブスがそっと手で触れると、グレーテルの体が光となって消えていく。そして代わりに現れたのは、あまりに巨大なフォーク。その柄には僕の大切な妹のリボンが寂しげに揺れていた。
あなたに与えるこの呪具にはあなたの妹の魂が宿る。そして失われた母の代わりに私があなたの母になりましょう。
お母さん？
ええ、いらっしゃいヘンゼル。グレーテルと一緒にご飯にしましょう。
こうして僕にとって森の魔女は母となり、僕らを捨てた実の母は魔女となった。それから数年の後、僕は正式にイデアへと迎え入れられ、世を正す一人の使徒として生きることになる。与えられた不死の体、人を超えた力、それをもって世界に最悪をもたらす存在を喰らい、大きな戦争や事件を未然に防ぐこと、それは僕たちのような悲しい子供たちを一人でも減らすことにつながっていたから。でもそう考えれば今回の任務は本当に皮肉な話だ。多くの悲しい子供たちを救うために、親からの愛を求める双子の兄弟を不幸にしなければならないんだから。
I know, right? Goodness.
ついにこの日が来た。再びお前と言葉を交わせる日が。
I can hear a voice, gentle, warm. A voice I should have been hearing for the first time, but somehow nostalgic.
さあ、どうか目覚めておくれ。愛しい愛しい、私の大切な子供。フィーニス。
An expression filled with joy flooded in through my half-opened eyes. I stared absentmindedly at that face, wavering in the culture fluid that surrounded me.
やっとお前に会えた。会いたかったよ、フィーニス。あの悲劇からもう何年になるか。二度と会うことなど叶わないと思っていたのに。さあ、私を見てくれ。そして私に声を聞かせて。
あなたは誰？
Maybe he had heard the words through the fluid, or maybe he had read my lips through the glass. The man before me opened his eyes wide in shock as he staggered back and forced out his words from deep within his throat.
フィニス。私がわからないのか。よく見ろ、私だ。アイザックだ。お前の父親だ。
父親？
そうだ、覚えているだろう。私と母さんと姉さんとお前、4人で過ごしたウェールズの屋敷。生活は決して楽なものではなかったが、あの日々は幸せと笑顔にあふれていた。だから私はどうにか取り戻したくて、理不尽に奪われた幸せをお前たち愛する家族を。なのにこんな。
Analyzing his words, I slowly began to make sense of the information. Indeed, there was information stored in my head that corroborated what he said. The scientist famed as the unrivaled genius Isaac Beckford, my Finis's father. Then the response this man sought must be,
父様。
ああ、そうだ。私はお前の父だ。
But the answer that should have been the most optimal did not make father smile. He only forced his face into a shape that resembled a smile. Afterwards, once I awakened, I assisted in the creation of a new Finis alongside father. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't get father to smile in the slightest. Each time he awakened a new Finis, father would desperately try to force a smile, and it would immediately turn into a face of disappointment. When a Finis awakened, they would all say,
あなたは誰?
The same exchange repeats tens, hundreds of times. The gaze that he makes as if looking at a stranger. The words that he speaks as if addressing a stranger. And eventually we stopped getting called by our name, Finis. Soon after, a few hundred of me were awakened, muttering the same words. Father cried out in English,
この人形め!
We Finises started being disregarded by father. Of course, we couldn't expect something like a smile. But there was one thing that made father smile. Standing before our sister, who was the being created in parallel with us. She alone, in the tank where only hideous deformed corpses floated, the products of countless failures. Sister whose completed form was beautiful, the blue gem shone in her chest, blessed by God. Sister who was created from the real sister's cells, unlike me who only took the appearance of Finis. Father smiled every time he saw her. A smile for her that was once meant for me.
Cardia, 愛しい私の娘よ。
Am I then not dear to you? Am I also your child? Why does only sister receive your love?
カルディア、すべてはお前から始まる。
Call me by name. Tell me that I'm dear to you. Smile at me at least once more.
お前の中でホロロギウムが育ち、新たな世界を作る準備が整うまで、私はしばしの眠りにつこう。
Father?
愛しているよ。 私の娘。
What must I do so that you love me like you love sister? What do I do? Please, someone love me. Yeah. Poor Finis. I guess because he didn't have the horologium in his chest, he couldn't produce emotions that was befitting of a human. Also, he didn't know who he was. I wonder why Cardia had like memories of her past implanted into her, but Finis didn't. I know she didn't remember things right away, but she started recalling memories that she knew was not hers, but was Cardia's happening to her. A sharp pain yanks me back into reality, forcing me to let out a cry of pain. I had a dream, such a sad dream. A dream about a sad father and a boy who was loved by no one. That dream was Finis and father.
Oh yeah? お目覚めかね?
Nemo, and Finis you too. What happened to me? A gigantic armillary sphere enshrined in the vast room comes into view as I look around. I also notice an odd device attached to the horologium in my chest. The many cables that extend from it are connected to the sphere. What is this?
ノーチラスと父様本体の維持にホロロギウムから少しエネルギーを回してもらったんだよ。あくまで緊急措置だけど、急な浮上とイデアとの戦いのせいでこの船もだいぶ消耗していたからね。
しかしまさかこの巨大戦艦を浮かすエネルギーを一人で賄ってしまうとは。実に素晴らしい。その力まさに怪物のごとしだね。
I am not a monster. I glare at Nemo, who hollers in delight as the cables are removed. Fatigue constricts around my entire body. As though my strength was literally sapped from me, I feel feeble from my head to my fingertips. But surprisingly, the pain that pulsated from the horologium has subsided.
ノーチラス維持のために仕方ないとはいえ、ここでエネルギーを奪ったことで姉さんの編成は遅れることになる。もう少しで父様と一つになれたのに、またお預けだ。残念だね、姉さん。
A pity? How can you still say that after what father did when we were confronting Hansel? This sense of powerlessness still lingered in my hand. If only this hand had been able to reach him. If only I could have saved him.
僕たちは父様のための人形だって何度言ったら理解できるのかな。人形一体で使徒を道連れにできたならそれこそ安いものじゃないか。
The faint smile plastered on his face was like a dark cloud over my heart. The Finis who was sacrificed bore a hint of uncertainty. It was a very subtle yet important detail.
そんなに睨みつけても無駄だよ。助けを求めようにも、ほら、この通り。
Yeah. Stole it. It's been compromised, like I said. Nemo smiles playfully as he messes around with the transmitter I had hidden away. This means that communication with Lupin and the others is now cut off. Finis laughs cheerfully before me as I grind my teeth.
さてと、あとはじっくりと父様の目覚めとホロロギウムの覚醒を待つばかり。イデアもここまでは来られない。せいぜい政府の散発的な抵抗に気をつけるだけだ。
I hold my chest tightly as I watch Finis laughing towards the giant sphere. I'm sure that I was able to get closer to Finis' heart back there, but to this current Finis, my words are so distant. What then should I do? It's still not over, oh my goodness. We're like an hour and 40 minutes in. So that's where I fell from. Through my red-tinted vision, I could see a ceiling of steel that spread as if to cover the entire sky. The throne of God that glares from the heavens high above. The battleship Nautilus. Father will soon awaken there and become a god guiding the ignorant to enlightenment. Right, I've accomplished it. I finally accomplished something that would make Father proud of me. You're supposed to have the same subconscious, right? So why is this one thinking and acting on its own apart from the one in the battleship? Blood flows from my mouth and I let out a proud laugh. I slowly close my eyes so that I can savor the elation that seeps throughout my body. Then I come to a realization. I can no longer feel even a hint of Father's presence that had always been at my side.
そうか。ちょうどいい。傷ついた人形、芽生えた子。この器ももう不要だな。
Alright, I think he cut that one off from the entourage of Finis's. He has now been separated from the main conscience of Finis and Isaac. That makes sense. Now that I'm wounded, there's no way I can fulfill my task as a terminal. I'm sure then that Father severed the connection between me and the main body and disposed of me like this. My job is done. Even putting aside the grave injury and my pierced abdomen, I fell from the sky high above. It was already a miracle that I was still in one piece, that I was alive at all. Then, just like a broken doll, all that's left to do is rot away where I landed. But please stop treating yourself like a doll. He's telling the memories of her to be quiet. I, as a big sister to my little brother, would like to love you. That's what I feel from the bottom of my heart. Every time my consciousness near its end, a voice returns to my ear to call it back. I just want it to leave me be. All I did was push her away. Sister, you really are stupid incarnate. I wonder what would have happened if I had said those words out loud up there. Those meaningless words that beg for salvation. Right? Even I can't imagine what my salvation would be like. Why then did I say those words? I could feel a cold drop run down my cheek. I reached to the sky with a trembling hand, like a boy yearning for the stars that he'll never be able to reach. There's no way to ever reach it. Even I know that. But even so, when I felt my big sister's hand, it sounds like Lupin. See, this is what I remember happening at the end of Lupin's route, but it didn't really happen at the end of Lupin's route because it's in Finis's route. And I just combined the two in my memory. Because Finis fell out of the sky in the Nautilus too. The ship rocked and he went tumbling towards the thing. and Cardia grabbed him, and she was trying to save him, but he refused and basically pried himself away from her so he can fall to his death. And since they both fell out of the Nautilus and both things, in my mind, he was still alive and they went to go find him, but that didn't happen. Also, I thought Hansel was in there too. He's not in there either. Since Finis's route was kind of a alternate ending to the game, I kind of just merged them together. Anyway, we're going to turn that down now. Actually, I'm just going to go back to the main screen. So yeah, that was a really long chapter, and I'm not going to be able to edit it tonight, so I'll put a post about that. Because my daughter told me to not stay up late so I can go to her Veterans Day assembly tomorrow. So it's 1 o'clock and I can't really edit a 2-hour video because that would put me at really late. And I would be absolutely miserable when I woke up in the morning. But I'm going to stay awake when I take my daughter to school at 7, and then I'll just edit it until her assembly and get it out in the morning. And to be honest, I don't even know if I have it in me to edit 2 hours today because I'm pretty tired. I did a lot of moving today. I'm rearranging my office because I have 2 setups. I have my my recording PC, which I'm probably going to get rid of eventually because there's just no point in having 2 PCs. Since I finally bought Photoshop, I was using a not current version of Photoshop to do my thumbnails with. And I finally just bought the version of it because every time I would have to turn off the Wi-Fi every time I opened it up because it would Adobe would close it. So I bought it so that way I could have the internet still on and look up some things while I was editing and making thumbnails. So since I bought it, I might as well just do it on my other computer now. I still have a not current version of Premiere Pro 2, but I could probably find the thumb drive that that's on and reinstall it on the other one. Anyway, yeah, this is not an easy route. This is a very painful and very sad, very lonely, dark and depressing story for Finis and for Hansel. And I mean, even though it will end good, like, it's not easy to read. I just forgot how dark and depressing this is. So I apologize if this is not your cup of tea. Like, you don't have to finish it. You just watch like the endings or something. You just watch the good ending and we'll be done with that. Anyway, if you guys did enjoy, drop a like down below and or subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.